This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. So I have been, with decent regularity, covering the events of January 6th, since the day it happened. And there has been a litany of cases. I think over 600 individuals have been arrested and charged with involvement with the day's events. The attempted overthrow of the United States government, the attempted overturning of a free and fair election. Some are cutting deals, some are smaller fish, and some, like I'm going to talk about today, are larger fish that will lead us to even larger fish. Reading from this Associated Press headline, Oath Keeper pleads guilty in January 6 riot, will cooperate. Now listen, there is a disparate network of militias and separatists across the country. I have talked many, many times about having grown up in northern Idaho, where these types of figures are revered, where they are considered freedom fighters. Freedom from what? I don't know, because they are dummies on the whole. They are rabble rousers. They are agents of chaos. And Oath Keepers is one of these groups that is an anti-government group while vehemently and feverishly supporting Donald Trump. None of it makes any sense. Again, agents of chaos. Reading from this article, a member of the far-right Oath Keepers militia group that stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th has pleaded guilty and will cooperate with investigators against his fellow extremists, marking another win for the Justice Department and its major conspiracy case stemming from the attack. Jason Dolan, 45, is the fourth person associated with the group that recruits current and former military, police, and first responders to plead guilty to conspiracy charges for their roles in the Capitol riot. The former Marine, shameful that a fellow Marine would participate in an attempted overthrow of the government, of the usurpation of the Constitution they took an oath to support and defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and then flipped sides and became the same enemy, domestic enemy, that they swore to protect the Constitution against. Disgusting. The former Marine from Wellington, Florida, has also agreed to cooperate and testify for the government before any grand juries and trials. So not only does he not have loyalty to the United States, to my United States Marine Corps, to our collective Constitution, he doesn't even have loyalty to his buddies. He's going to turn state's evidence and testify against his pals. Good. But it just there is no core to these individuals. They are worthless and weak and afraid. Cowards, everyone. Dolan's guilty plea Wednesday comes as authorities in Washington prepare for possible violence during a rally scheduled for Saturday in defense of the pro-Trump mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Police have been tracking intelligence indicating members of the Oath Keepers and other extremist groups like the Proud Boys are planning to attend the rally, although Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio has said he doesn't expect his membership to do so. Congressional security officials have approved the reinstallation of a temporary fence. I talked about this in a video last week. The temporary fence around the Capitol in preparation for the event. Police are planning for potentially violent clashes and possibilities that protesters may arrive with weapons, according to 3 people familiar with the preparations. Dolan, disgraced former Marine, was arrested in May and is among 20 members and associates of the Oath Keepers accused of conspiring to block the certification of President Joe Biden's victory in last year's election. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy and 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding. The judge said the federal sentencing guidelines call for a term of more than 5 years to 6.5 years behind bars. An email seeking comment was sent to Dolan's attorney. Authorities say days before the riot, Dolan and other extremists joined an invitation-only encrypted signal message group called OK Florida DCOP January 6th. On January 6th, he and the other defendant who were in the crowd on the east side of the Capitol steps joined up with other Oath Keepers dressed in tactical vests and helmets who were marching toward the door in a military-style stack formation. The group forcibly entered the building, authorities say in court documents. Of course, that video has circulated widely on the internet, seeing them with their hands upon each other's shoulders in a snake-like formation, working their way through the crowd up the steps to breach the Capitol in an attempted overthrow, in an attempted overtaking of the building, which they succeeded in. They didn't get into the most inner sanctum, the chamber of the House, until members had been evacuated, largely because of the killing of Ashley Babbitt, which sent the signal that you're not getting in. You're not going to succeed in this endeavor. Prosecutors say after the riot, Dolan and other Oath Keepers gathered outside the building with the group's founder, Stewart Rhodes. Rhodes, and this is interesting because Dolan's testimony here, the disgraced former Marine's testimony, will likely get us closer to prosecuting the group's leader. Stewart Rhodes has not been charged in the attack, but has repeatedly come up as person one in court documents, suggesting he's a central focus for investigators. The three other Oath Keepers who pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges are also cooperating with investigators and have yet to be sentenced. You see, when you cooperate with federal prosecutors, you're not just let off the hook. You still, you're forced to plead guilty. You are sentenced, but your sentence is just not quite as stiff as it would be, because you're showing good faith to cooperate in the investigation and in the trials of others to bring them to justice. And the people who wait the longest don't get the deals. So we will see what happens here. I'd love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Thanks for all your communications. I take some time, enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning, listen to some very positive voicemails, but also some haters. So if you're out there, you got my ear for just a few minutes every morning. You can help support my work if you're into that sort of thing. If I bring you that kind of value, I would appreciate it. You can click the join button below the video, become a channel member for fewer than $2 a month, $1.99 a month. You can help support and produce my work. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, not just for the podcast, it's also for the YouTubes. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine, be loyal, take care of one another.